Well, good morning and welcome to this Yoga for Cyclists session brought to you by Cycling UK as part of Bike Week. My name's Alice McNeil and I'm a yoga teacher and a physio, specialising in cycling and adventure sports in the Peak District. However, at the moment I'm in lockdown in northern Spain in Asturias, so a little holiday turned into, we've been here for months now. Not sure when we're going to get home. However, the beauty of technology allows me to bring this session to you virtually this morning. So I'm so delighted about that. What I've noticed in my clinic, in retreats that I've run, my personal experience is that yoga is such a great accompaniment to cycling for so many different reasons. So there's the physical aspects, just stretching and strengthening your body, allowing you to just feel better on a bike, perhaps even to perform better. But then there's also kind of the more psychological aspects where you can tune into that body-mind connection a little bit more, and that can also help you to enjoy your ride a little bit more. One key example would be, you're holding onto the handlebars, you're gripped because you've not been on a bike for a while, or it's a technical descent and you're holding on so tight. If you're gripped in your hands, you're gripped in your entire body, and you're not going to enjoy it as much as if you can just loosen off, let go a little bit, and just kind of go with the flow. So we'll be learning some techniques to just kind of let go of your worries, let go of muscle tension, as well as the physical kind of stretch and strengthening. So this session today, if you've never done yoga before, that's absolutely fine. If you've been doing yoga for ages, also absolutely fine. You don't necessarily need a mat, but if you have one, great. You want to just be able to move. So whatever clothes, your pajamas, are absolutely fine. It is an early morning session. Key thing is listen to your body. I can't see you, so if I'm asking you to do something and it doesn't feel right, really just listen to your body, and don't do it. It really doesn't matter. It's not a competition. It's just exploring these movement patterns, exploring how your body feels, seeing what feels nice, seeing what feels not so nice perhaps. If you've got an injury, being absolutely super mindful of that as well, and again just listening to your body. Any pre-existing medical conditions, you're the expert on those conditions, so you manage them. So for example, low blood pressure, if we're going from sitting to standing, you may want to do that slower than we do in the class, for example, so we don't go lightheaded. But you know how to manage your pre-existing medical condition. So I think I've witted long enough. The session we'll start off with a kind of a breathing meditation opening, then we'll move into movement, and then we'll finish with that consolidation, that final relaxation. Okay, so we're actually going to start lying on our backs. So coming down, bringing the soles of the feet together, lying back, letting those knees come out to the side. Okay, so if this doesn't feel great on your lower back, feel free to have the knees bent, maybe even the knees coming together. And as we lay here, eyes could be open or closed. And just bringing awareness to the breath. Just noticing as the air comes into the body and moves out of the body. If we can, breathing through our nose, but if the nose is blocked, the mouth is fine. So as we bring awareness to the breath, we're not trying to change anything. We're just noticing, does it feel short, long, jagged, smooth? Just observing the qualities of the breath. And then bringing one hand to the breastbone, one hand to the belly. And just noticing how the hands move. Maybe it's the top hand, maybe it's the bottom hand that moves more. Again, not trying to change anything, just observing. noticing the whole of the breath, from the start of the breath to the end of the breath to the little gap in between. And then bringing awareness to this lower hand, this hand that's on your belly. And as you breathe in, really filling up the belly with air. And as we breathe out, really letting that belly kind of empty. Not forcing the breath, but just seeing if we can make that breath a little bit longer. And if you find that that bottom hand doesn't want to move at all and it's just the top hand, that's fine. It's just having that awareness and having that intention to be breathing deeply down into the belly. Okay, now let's bring our hands to the sides of the ribs. And this time when we breathe in, imagining that we're expanding the ribs out to the side. So it might feel strange. You might not be able to do that to start. It might be easy. But just seeing if we can really fill those lungs up to expand into the hands. And then let's take a big breath in, fill those lungs, and let it out with a sigh through the mouth. Do one more. So release the hands down and just coming back to a natural breath, bringing the knees up, feet flat on the floor, and just letting those knees roll from side to side. You don't have to go all the way down to the ground, just a little kind of windscreen wiper is nice. We're just starting to waken up the body this morning. So as we waken up those hips and lower back, the focus of the session today, I want to try to help us create spaciousness in the body. I want us to have a go at letting go. So we'll be exploring these themes as we go. Okay, then bringing the knees into the chest, perhaps making circles. Going around the other way. And then draw the knees into the chest. We're going to come up to sitting, so you might want to kind of do a bit of a rock and roll, or maybe just come up into sitting. Okay, so in our seated position, we can be however we like, legs out, legs crossed. We're just going to start to bring awareness to the whole of the body. Really good to have this connection with our body, so know where we are on our bikes. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the same side as you, so I'm not mirroring. Okay, so I'm going to take my left foot and just feeling the toes, just bringing awareness to these feet, and clenching the toes, stretching them, spreading those toes, clenching and spreading, keeping all of our awareness into those toes. And then coming to the ankles, starting to circle the ankles, going in both directions as much as we can, keeping all our thoughts on the ankle. And then let's bend and straighten through the knee. And as we bend and straighten through the knee, noticing the whole of the body, noticing, oh, I'm actually using my core to do that. Oh gosh, noticing, oh gosh, this feels horrible, or it feels great. Just being aware of these observations, but kind of let them go. And then let's bring the foot to the opposite hand, supporting the knee with that left hand, and making a circle. It's almost as if you've got a big wooden spoon attached to your foot and stirring a big cauldron of porridge, say, for this morning. And we're going around, just making those circles as big as we can. And coming back the other way. And we can continue with the stirring, or if you like, popping the foot into the crook of that right arm, wrapping the hands around, and then rocking gently. So this is called rocking the baby, and it's as if your leg is a baby. You've been as delicate as you can and just nurturing your body, noticing sensations. I'm getting a bit of a stretch through here because I am particularly tight at the moment. And just just noticing those sensations. Okay, releasing that leg. Let's move to the other leg. Okay, so first clench, feeling those toes, feeling those feet, waking those up, and clenching the toes, spreading them wide, and again. And just focusing everything on those toes. So from those ankles. Going both directions, and as we're doing this, your mind may be wandering off. You may be thinking about the day ahead, you may be thinking, oh gosh, I'm bored, this isn't fast enough for me, it's too slow for me. Let it all go. Just focus on the task at hand, focusing on that ankle, and then let's focus on the knee. This bending and straightening. You may feel clunking, you may not. If you find yourself, think, oh, I'm not doing it right, I'm doing it, it's too easy. Just let those thoughts go. Focusing on the knee, on this leg, this powerful pedaling leg. And then again, bringing the foot to the opposite hand, holding the knee, starting to make circles. Making us as large as we can, coming back in the other direction. And then if we like, we can choose to go to our rocking the baby. And just gently working in, tuning into that hip, waking up each part of the body. Releasing down, sitting however feels comfortable for you. Let's start to bring awareness to the fists, so we're squeezing the hands and opening. So now we're going to start to build in the breath with the movement. So as we breathe in, we're clenching the fists. As we breathe out, stretching the fingers away and the arms away. Breathing in and out. It feels nice to sit through your mouth, that's great. So let's bring the elbows as well, so squeezing the hands, elbows, breathing in and then out. Let it go. One more, let's do a big sigh out this time. Starting to let go of perhaps a little bit of a lockdown tension as well. So, fingers to the tops of your shoulders, let's circle those shoulders around. So again, breathing in as the elbows go up, breathing out as the elbows move down. And then coming back the opposite way. Noticing how the shoulder blades are moving, noticing this whole kind of shoulder and arm girdle. And stretching the whole of the arms. Breathing in as we go up, out as we come down. And shake those arms out. Okay, and let's spread the arms wide. Welcoming this new day. And then out as we hug ourselves in, we curl our spine down, squeeze tightly, drop the chin. Breathing in, welcoming the day. And sighing it out as we curl up. One more time. And releasing off, let's just look over one shoulder, over to the other. First side again, second side, jigging the shoulders around. Imagine we've got a hook on the top of our head, pulling us tall, allowing that elongation of the spine, that spaciousness. If cross-legged isn't comfy, you can be kneeling. Just noticing that space. And then bring awareness to the jaw. Let's just move, open and close the mouth a little bit. Getting rid of any tension that we're holding here in our jaw. In these times of stress, we can really find ourselves just clenching. And so the idea, if we can let go of this tension through the jaw, helps to let go of the tension through the neck, and so on. So just You're not in a class, so no one's watching you, so you just really get into that jaw, maybe even massage a little bit. Right, okay, so we're going to start building up a little bit on the movements now. So coming to a 4-point kneeling. So we've got hands below shoulders, knees below hips. And we're starting by drawing the navel towards the spine. And we're in this tabletop position, so the back is kind of generally quite flat here. And then let's tuck the tailbone under, arch up the back, and last of all drop the head. Fully exhale here. Then as we breathe in, that tailbone comes up, the belly drops and the head lifts, filling up those lungs. Then exhaling back down the other way, so waving that spine, dropping the head. Breathing in, tailbone up, belly drops, lifting the head. Let's just do a couple more on your own rhythm. Actually, one more. Honestly, this is such a lovely exercise to do, just to really relax down the muscles of the back. So any lower back pain, this is just such a super relaxing mobilization for those muscles. Okay, and then let's bring the knees wide, big toes together, sitting back, so buttocks going towards those heels. We're stretching the arms out in front, maybe coming onto the fingertips, and then bringing the head down towards the mat. So if the head doesn't reach the mat, maybe stacking the fists, resting the head. Or we can keep this active through the arms. So as we breathe here, we're breathing into the back of the body. If you're still waking up and you want to have the arms kind of relax, you can do that too. So this child's pose, again, a lovely stretch for after cycling to just help to soften down those any tight back muscles. And then let's walk the hands over to the right hand side. As we breathe, really breathing into the side of the body, to that left side. Moving the hands over. Really breathing in here. Coming back to centre. And back to that 4-point kneeling again. So this time let's bring our left hand to the centre of the mat. Breathing in as we stretch up the right, high as we can. Breathing out, threading that hand underneath the body. I'll just move around so you can see. Threading that hand underneath the body, bringing the outer edge of the arm to the mat, or the ground, maybe the head to the side as well. And breathing in as we lift up. Breathing out, threading that needle. Breathing in. And out, threading that needle. Just holding there for a moment. Back to centre, we'll go on to the other side, so that right hand into the centre, this time breathing in as we look up to that left hand, and out, threading through. Breathing in, threading through. Last one. And then let's hold here for a moment, keep breathing, stretching through those shoulders. Bring the hands back to that 4-point kneeling. Bring the hands slightly further forward, tuck the toes under as we go up to a downward facing dog. So it's a very loose downward dog. We're kind of bending the knees, finding our way here. I'm on a slope, so I'm kind of sliding away. It's fine. So kind of lifting up, stretching through those legs. So on our hands, imagining that we're pressing into the mat through this the outer edge of the palm, and we're kind of lifting up that inner part of the palm. It's a sense of giving space in the hands, this lift in the hands, which is great when you're on a bike on the handlebars. If you're really pressing into the handlebars, it's probably not so great on your wrists, but if you can let go, lift up through that inner part of the palm, it can just take that pressure through the arms a little bit. Anyway, in our downward dog, really walking those, pedaling those feet, imagining that we're lifting up with the tailbone and back, we're drawing the navel towards the spine, we're looking towards our feet, and then let's walk our feet in between our hands, Knees are bent as we just dangle for a moment. Maybe cross the arms, let the head be heavy. Maybe moving from side to side. And then let's draw navel towards the spine and roll up as if we're stacking one vertebra on top of the next as we come all the way up, looking to the hands, and then bringing the hands together at heart centre. So standing at the top of our mat. So I'm just going to face you. So again, as we did with the hands, getting this sense of lift, we're getting this sense of lift through the feet, wiggling the toes. And as we wiggle the toes, pressing the heel, but just beneath the big toe and the edge of the foot here, these 3 points, we're pressing those into the ground. Slight bend in the knees as we really power through. So as we're pressing through our pedals, we're using the whole of our, not the whole of our bodies, but the whole of our legs. And so just bringing awareness to this press down, tension through the whole of the legs, this grounding sensation. We draw navel towards the spine. Again, we've got that hook on top of our heads, pulling us tall, chin's gently tucked in, the back of the neck is long. Getting that spaciousness through the spine, maybe wriggling the shoulders. Okay. And so with this sense of strength and spaciousness, let's come to the front of our mat. Hands are together as we breathe in and stretch up. Breathing out, let's roll all the way down. Knees can be bent. Breathing in as we lift up hands to shins. Breathing out, let's step back with that left foot. Dropping the knee, flattening the foot, squeezing the inner thighs together as we breathe in, stretching up and out, back down. Let's do 2 more of these. So breathing in, stretching up, you can look towards the ceiling, back down. Last one. And as we breathe out, putting both hands at the top of the mat, stepping back into a plank position. So in this plank, we're pressing through our hands. We're still lifting the centre of the palm. We're pressing away with our heels. Navel's drawn towards the spine. We're really getting power in this position. And just staying here for a moment, breathing. If you want to drop your knees, that's absolutely fine. Just listening to your body. And then let's bend through the elbows, keeping those elbows close as we lower all the way down to the ground. Release the toes. Pressing through the hands to move into a baby cobra. So this baby cobra, we're pressing into the mat with our big toes, with our pubic bone, legs are active. Lower back down. Breathing into a slightly bigger cobra, active legs. Lower back down. Breathing in. Oh, a slightly bigger cobra, only going as far as feels right for you. Squeezing those buttocks to help stabilise us. Down, tucking under the toes, and we can choose here whether we go to 4-point kneeling or we press up through that plank and then up into downward facing dog. So we've got 3 breaths in our downward dog here. Maybe you want to keep pedaling those feet. And then let's float up. The right leg up to the sky, bend that knee, and let's touch the outer edge of that right elbow with that knee, or head towards that area, and stretching away again. And that left elbow, so show you crossing under the body, stretching up again. Then let's this time go to this right elbow, and maybe you can straighten out the leg, holding here, really using our core here, and coming back. Coming back up, floating that leg up, and then let's step it to in between the hands. Now it doesn't matter how many times that takes, you can go up the mat through increments. So we're now in a high lunge again. We can drop that knee or we can stay high. Squeeze the inner thighs. Let's breathe in, stretching up. And out, back down. This time let's lift up that right hand towards the ceiling. Back down. And both hands, whoop, fall over. And back down. And let's step back to that downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees, look forwards, and then we can step or jump to the top of the mat. dangle for a moment, fully exhale, and then let's breathe all the way back up. And bring the hands to close. Taking a moment here, resetting that grounding sensation through the feet, maybe working the wrists if they feel tight at all. Just taking a moment. Breathing in, stretching up. Breathing out, let's roll all the way down. Breathing in as we look up with a flat back. Breathing out, let's step back with that right foot, drop the knee, flatten the foot. Breathing in, arms raise up. And out, back down. Got two more. And this time we're moving into our plank as we exhale. And then lowering all the way down with that exhale. Breathing into a cobra, lowering back down. And then this time let's interlace our fingers behind our back, stretching our fists behind, squeezing our shoulder blades towards each other, lifting up the top part of the body. Really stretching here through those arms. Lowering back down. Release the hands. And then pointing the fingers back towards the back of the mat. Again, lifting up the torso. If we like, those feet may float up as well. And breathing. Keep breathing. So this is lovely because it's stretching the front of the body. It's strengthening the back of the body, which is the opposite to what we're doing in our cycling positions. And breathing here, releasing down at any point. Coming back down. Let's tuck the toes in, either through plank or 4-point kneeling, up to downward facing dog. And again, just pausing here for a moment, moving however feels nice. I'm sliding on a slope. Okay, let's float up this left leg. As we breathe out, let's bring that left knee to left elbow. Breathing in, up again. To that right elbow. Back up again. Back to that left elbow, maybe straightening through that leg. Back up again, and then aiming to step the foot between the hands. Knee can be up or down. As we breathe in, raise up through the arms. And back down. Keep that right hand down as we lift the left and twist. And back down. And then both hands come up again. And back down. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, look forwards, bend the knees, and if you like, have a go at jumping to the top of the mat. Dangling, fully exhaling as we roll all the way up. And bringing the hands to close at heart centre. Taking a moment here. Hopefully we're warming up the body a bit. I just want to add in a little kind of stress relieving posture. It's probably one of my favourite postures, the wood chopper pose, but I think it's really great when we've been locked down, we're in this time of stress, like we can just get rid of it a little bit. So call the wood chopper pose. So bending those knees, standing tall. Okay, stretching the arms up above the head, interlacing the hands. Keeping those knees nice and soft. And then we're going to imagine we're chopping the wood in slow motion, sticking the bum out, bending the knees as we chop down, stretching back up. And we can do this as slowly or as quickly as we like. But as we chop the wood, we're going to make a ha sound. Really, get out any stresses, let them go. Okay, so we're going to do it 3 times to really just, Okay, so if you're in a place where you can't make a loud noise at this point, just having like a nice sigh is great. Okay, so breathing in. As we breathe out, ha! Back up. Ha! Last one. Ha! Oh, stretching back up, coming to the top of our mat again. Oh, releasing off. Okay, so now let's step back with the right foot, about the length of one of our legs, bending through that front knee. That back heel kind of cuts in halfway up the arch of your foot. That front knee is bent, hips are facing the long edge of the mat as we stretch up. Okay, so imagine that someone's pulling that hand back, someone's pulling the hand forwards, we're stretched between the two, we're grounding down, and we've got that lovely long spine in our warrior two. Looking ahead, keeping that focus. When thoughts come, allow them to float away like clouds in the sky, just keeping the focus ahead, just beyond that that front middle finger. Okay, breathing in, slide down that back hand, lifting up the top hand in our reverse warrior. Breathing out, bringing that left hand to that front thigh, stretching up the other hand. So at the moment we've got the heart and we're trying to spiral it upwards. We're getting a stretch down the side of the body. We're grounding through that outer edge of the heel. We're not collapsing down on this arm as much as we can. If we were to kind of take this arm away, your body would just stay where it is. Really feeling the body, grounding down. And then let's cartwheel the hands back up to that reverse warrior. In fact, let's straighten that front knee. And come back to centre. Turn the toes towards each other. Hands on hips, flat back as we bend forwards, fold forwards. Just looking ahead at this point. Grounding evenly through the feet. Coming back up, let's turn the toes outwards. And let's bend the knees. So as we bend the knees, we should be aiming for those knees to go over the middle toe. So you can move your foot in, out, shake it all about. And then we're squatting down, bringing the hands to cactus here. Okay, we're in our goddess or fierce angle pose. Apparently, we can take the power of the universe in this posture. So, I mean, that sounds good to me. So let's breathe in as we stretch up. Breathing out, dip down. And again, up. Want to make a noise again. If you enjoyed that woodchopper pose, we can. Last one, breathing in. Stretching over. Now this time, let's turn to the other side. So we've got our right foot in front, the left foot's behind, bending through that front knee. Again, hips to the long edge of the mat, arms coming out into our warrior two. Really focusing on the horizon, checking that this back hand isn't kind of flopping down. Got that sense of space in the spine, space in the body. Breathing in as we reverse our warrior. Breathing out as we move to our side angle to that forearm on the thigh. If you need to move your legs to feel more stable, that's absolutely fine. Palms facing up, top hands over the top, and we're spiraling that heart up towards the sky. We choose to look up or down or neutral. So really focusing on that, grounding through the outer edge, stretching through the whole side body. Keep that jaw nice and soft. Just breathing. Let's spiral up to that reverse warrior. Then let's straighten that front knee to a reverse triangle. And coming back, bringing the knees in, feet in, hands on hips again, flat back as we bend forwards. Now if we've had any kind of disky issues or anything with the back, perhaps just stay with this flat back position, or you can, let me turn around, just slump, maybe let the arms dangle, maybe fold the arms, let the head hang heavy. If you like, we can move the hands to one foot, then the other foot, or maybe just stay dangling. Really letting gravity do the work. Then let's heel toe the feet in. And let's curl all the way back up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next as we pull all the way up, stretching the hands towards the sky, and bringing the hands to close at heart centre. And taking a moment there. Okay. So let's take our tree posture. We're going to do tree and adapted tree. So let's put the weight into our left foot. Find a drishti, even a point to focus on. And bringing the sole of the foot either to that calf or bringing it higher up the inside of the leg. The standing leg is pressing into that sole. That knee, it doesn't matter if it's out to the side, out to a diagonal, kind of really far forwards. We've all got different hip shapes, so there's no right or wrong really. Standing tall, again, we've got that hook on the top of our head, pulling us tall. Throw navel towards the spine, getting this sense of space so we can really breathe into the body. Our hands can be at hearts. Oh gosh, my balance today is awful. Or we can stretch the hands wide, maybe be bringing thumb to first finger, stretching the other fingers. If you want a little bit more challenge, we can raise up that heel. Whoop. Not great when you try having a poor balance day and then lowering back down. Perhaps imagining that you're a tree in a storm. The winds are blowing, your branches, your arms are moving, but you're rooted. That foot is rooting down to the ground. Just feeling that breeze. And then if we can, releasing that foot, catching the ankle with that right hand and bringing the knee to the other knee, the heel towards the buttock as we press the hips forwards into our adapted tree. So really focusing, pressing those hips forwards, keeping the knees together as much as we can. Standing tall, still focusing on that balance point. And then we can bring the knee out slightly. And again, drawing that heel towards the buttock. Standing tall, hips forwards. And perhaps even taking it out a little bit further or keeping it in that central position. Just noticing the sensations there. And releasing down. Oh. Okay, let's go to the other side. So again, that left foot either on the calf muscle or up to that inner thigh. Standing tall, really pressing that standing leg into the foot. Drawing the navel in, standing tall. You can choose if our hands are here. Maybe they're stretching out, maybe making a small mudra with energy lock with their thumb to the first finger, stretching the other fingers away. And the shoulders away from the ears. And if we want to challenge, maybe we can raise up onto the toes. Oh my goodness, my balance is awful today. Human. Maybe we want to feel that breeze in the air, moving those hands, but feeling that rootedness of that standing leg, that strength. Letting go of the tension as we just feel our way into this balance. If you want to challenge yourself further than closing the eyes, taking away those visual cues, just really feeling the body. This really helps us to connect with our balance, our proprioception, our awareness in space. Okay, and then without putting that leg down, if we can, catching that left foot with the left hand and bringing our knees together, pressing the hips forwards. Standing tall. Just noticing any sensation through the body. Keep pressing those hips forwards. If you struggle to catch that foot, feel free to take hold of your trousers, or if you've got a towel or a jumper handy, just wrap that around your shin, and you can hold here. That's fab, keeping the body nice and tall. Then let's move to that kind of midway position, knee out a little bit, but still drawing that heel to the buttock, pressing the hips forwards. And then bringing that leg a little further out. Standing tall still, feeling that rootedness of that right leg. Oh, release down, give those legs, give the whole of the body a little bit of a shake. Okay, so let's come to the top of our mats. Breathe in as we stretch up. Breathing out, let's roll all the way down. Breathing in as we look up. Breathing out, plant the hands, step back with both feet. And the elbows as we lower down to the ground, really nice and slowly. Perhaps pause. If you like, we can push back up again. Draw the navel towards the spine. Really helping to strengthen between the shoulder blades, and then slowly lower back down. Keep those elbows close into the body. Release the toes as we press into a little cobra. Releasing down. Let's come onto our forearms, into our Sphinx posture. But this time relaxing the buttocks, relaxing the legs, relaxing the belly. If we can, trying to get those lower ribs in contact with the mat. Maybe moving the arms around to allow those lower ribs to be there. You can even let your head drop if that feels nice. We can stay here for ages, but we're not going to. Really letting that lower back release. Letting the buttock muscles relax down. Perhaps even in your mind thinking, let go, let go. And let's move up to 4-point kneeling. Maybe having a little wiggle here. And then let's move up into downward dog. And we're going to go into pigeon. So any knee issues, hold fire a moment and I'll show you a variation. So let's float that right leg to the ceiling. Bring that right knee into the right wrist. Actually, I'm going to turn around so you can see. The right wrist. That shin comes at a diagonal underneath the body with the outer edge of the foot on the mat. Stretch away with that back leg and then release the toe. Okay, so we're here. And just check in with the knee. If everything feels all right, you can choose to stay here. Or perhaps walk the hands down, maybe even resting the head on the mat. Okay, so if the pigeon posture is new to you, it's likely that there might be a quite strong sensation coming through this side of the hip. That's fine. Sweet discomfort is fine. Any pain, please gently come out. So we're holding here and we're just breathing nice and deeply. If you have any knee issues, a variation is lying on your back, bringing that right ankle to the top of the left thigh, hands behind that left thigh, relax the head down and draw that left thigh into the body. And again, there should be a bit of a stretch here. This is your piriformis stretch, one of the muscles through that in that buttock. Okay, so if we're in our pigeon, let's start to walk the hands up. Tuck under the back toes, press into the hands as we move back to downward dog. And then float at that left leg, left knee to that left wrist, diagonal shin, outer edge of the foot on the mat. Stretching back with that back leg, releasing that foot down. And if everything feels all right here, then walking the hands forwards. Perhaps even resting the head on the mat, on your hands, on your arms. Perhaps breathing in to any sensation that you feel. Imagining that as you breathe into the lungs, that breath is spreading and expanding like a balloon in the limbs that you feel the sensation. Gently tucking that toe under, coming up onto the hands as we release back into that downward dog. And bending the knees as we jump to sitting. Okay, let's bring the legs wide out in front. Bringing the toes towards us. And then taking the left hand, left arm on the inside of that left knee. Spiraling the heart up. We stretch the top hand over as if we're trying to catch this big toe. If you're flexible, you may get there. I will never get there. Okay, this other leg, you can actually bend that in. That's fine if it doesn't feel great. Or you can keep it stretched out. And we're just going for a twist here, really. Keeping the big toes towards us, spiraling that heart up, trying to ground down with both the seating bones. And again, really using the breath here. So if there's an area of tightness, as you breathe in, it's almost as if you're filling that area of tightness with a balloon. As you breathe out, that muscle's just letting go. And let's come to centre, shake our legs, and go over to the other side. If you're doing the one-legged version, just bending up the other leg, even if that leg's kind of out of the way, that's absolutely fine as well. So inner arm to that knee, toes towards you, spiraling the heart up. Oh. We can look up if we like. And again, just breathing. Back to centre. Those legs give it a shake again. Bringing the legs out in front of us. Let's take that right leg. Cross that right leg over the left. Keep bringing those left toes towards you. Stretching the right hand behind the back. The left elbow comes on top of that thigh. So I'm going to show you from behind as well. So I'm reaching behind and I've got that arm on that thigh here. Okay. If you find in this position, your seating bones are both kind of grounding down and you want to bend up that straight leg to tuck that heel next to the buttock, that's absolutely fine, but just make sure the seating bones are both down. Either variation. So as we breathe in, we're elongating through the spine, getting that sense of spaciousness. As we breathe out, we're twisting around. We're not forcing, we're letting the breath help us just to move around. So breathing in, elongate. Breathing out, letting go as we twist deeper. Back to centre. Release those legs and go to the other side. This time the left foot crosses over, the toes draw in. The left hand reaches behind, hooking that arm on the leg. And again, as we breathe in, we're growing tall in the spine, creating space. As we breathe out, we're twisting around. With this arm, you may want to let that arm kind of relax more. You may want to keep it kind of rigid. You may feel a difference. You can explore. And coming back to centre. If you're on a mat, turning so you're sat at the top of the mat, sitting up tall, stretching the fingers away, drawing navel towards the spine. As we start to tilt the pelvis backwards, we're imagining we've got press-studs going up the whole of the spine. And as we lower down, we're pressing those press-studs in. Maybe looking towards the belly. And we're going down really nice and slowly. Keep breathing. Keep that jaw soft. And let's roll all the way down. And let's plant the feet on the mat. And then press the lower part of the back into the mat. As you do, the tailbone lifts. Keep going with that lift as we lift the pelvis up towards the sky. Just pressing evenly through the feet here. If we can, keeping those knees pointing forwards rather than outwards. Evenly pressing. And then let's roll down. Again, we've got those press-studs on the spine. And we're slowly snaking the spine down to the mat, keeping that navel drawn in as we lower down. And releasing. And then let's go again. Press that lower back in, lifting up, rolling the whole way up. Again, lovely massage if you have got a sore back from riding. Okay, you can choose to stay here or maybe interlace the fingers underneath the back, walk the shoulders towards each other and press up further with those hips, pressing with the arms into the mat, really lifting up the chest, keeping the head relaxed and neck relaxed, but really powering through those legs, squeezing the buttocks, and then releasing the arms, and again slowly rolling down the back, one vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly. And bringing the knees into the chest. Let's start to make a circle with those knees. And draw those knees. In fact, no, let's put the feet on the ground, but bring the feet almost as wide as the mat. Stretch the arms out to the side, then let both knees roll over to the right hand side, relaxing the head down, maybe looking to the left. You can stay here, or perhaps taking that right foot and popping it on top of the left foot. That might deepen the stretch for you. And we're pausing. Supine twist, just a great opportunity to allow ourselves to let go, let gravity take over. No muscular effort required. Bring the head back to centre, bring the knees back to centre, and then let those knees fall over to the other side, putting that left foot on top of the right knee. We can look to the right. And again, this idea of letting go, letting the body be soft and yield to gravity. And gently bringing the head back to centre, the knees back to centre, squeezing the knees into the chest. Making ourselves tight, little ball. Okay, we'll move now into Shavasana, or our final relaxation. So if you do want to pop on a jumper, please do so. Or if you've got a blanket, we won't be here for long, but it's just nice to keep warm, to consolidate this practice. So let's move to a lying down position. So we're laying on our backs. The feet are wide, allowing the feet to loll out to the sides. Head relaxed. Maybe you can pop a cushion there if that feels more comfortable. Palms are facing up. They could be close to your body, they could be further apart, maybe kind of halfway between. If this doesn't feel great on your back because it makes you arch your back a little bit more than you'd like, you can bend up those knees. If you liked the position at the start of the class with the soles of the feet together, the knees out, that's another variation. Choose the one which your body says, oh yeah, that would be nice right now. Okay, so eyes can be open or closed. And again, just bringing awareness to the breath. Noticing as the air enters the nostrils. And as it goes on its journey to the lungs. Again, not trying to change anything, but just observing the breath. And then becoming aware of the whole of the body as we lay on the mat. Noticing the areas of the body in contact with the mat. As we lay here, allowing the body to become heavy, to yield to gravity and sink down into the mat. As we breathe, being aware of our feet, our legs, all the way up to our hips. Noticing if we've got any tension there in those legs, and if we do, letting it go on its way. Moving to the pelvis, the buttocks, internal organs. And again, letting go. Moving to the whole of the torso. Again, our lungs are there, our heart, whole of the body. And as we breathe out, we let go. Moving on now to the shoulders and the arms. As we breathe, we allow our arms and shoulders to let go. The neck and the head, with the muscles of the face and the jaw, tongue. Letting go of anything we no longer need. And as we lay here, becoming aware of the whole of the body, as if the whole of the body is breathing. Feeling the space through the whole of the body. And then starting to deepen the breath. So as we breathe in, filling up the whole of the belly with breath. As we breathe out, let it out with a sigh. And breathing in, filling up the whole of the belly. Letting it go. Last one, big breath in, as if we're filling up the whole of the body. And we're going to let go of all of our tension. And wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, bending up the knees. And then let's roll over to the right hand side, supporting the head where necessary, going over into that fetal-like position. Just taking a moment here to check in with the body, check in with the mind. And then when we feel ready, let's gently come back up to any seated position. The spine to be long. Let's bring the hands together, heart centre. Thank you for joining me in practice this morning. Namaste. The light in me shines the light in you.